South Africa is a movie. We live in a drama. It's a series. Every day you will be shocked by something new.
That's the reality of our country. Nothing is working. Nothing is working. Our government systems are failing us. What is working here in South Africa? Corruption. Corruption is the only thing that is working. Yeah, corruption is the only thing that is working here in South Africa. Apart from that, nothing else is working. It's chaos. And then the people who've been in power all this time will be out here acting as if they don't see that thing. You know? Acting as if we continue trusting them, something is going to change.
Now, you can't tell me, right, as we celebrate 70 years of Freedom Charter today, you can't tell me that should satisfy you as a revolutionary movement, that at least we've managed to hang on to power. But you're not changing the lives of your people, right? You're not changing the lives of your people. And I'm not just saying it because I don't like the ANC. Because people, when you say this, they say, hey, you hate the ANC. I don't hate the ANC. I'm just saying your economic indicators are that your economy for the last decade at least has grown by zero. The last decade has grown by zero. Don't tell me 0.10 is zero. Because in any event, economic growth indicators are always an estimation. So if you're saying 0.2 or 3, you could even be at minus growth for that, for all we know. Right? But I'm not a statistician, so I won't venture. But it's called comfort to tell me it's 0.6. You're growing at zero. You're not growing the economy. Right? Your people are starving. You got people sleeping under bridges. People think it's an exaggeration. People who are homeless, people who are hungry, people who don't know what they're going. Then you got unemployment rates that are skyrocketing at 40% or whatever. Don't tell me about the propaganda of this Capitec, whatever CEO who's saying, in fact, we're at 10%. That's nonsense. The Statistics General has told us the unemployment rates in this country are a calamity, right? So if you look at those indicators, which I call time bombs, and you look at the government of national unity that's supposed to reverse those things, you worry because the partners in there don't want those things, don't want that reversal.
You know, whether you like or you hate this man, JJ Tabane here, I think we can all agree that what he's saying is the absolute truth. Because some people like to say, this man always attacks the ANC because he's advocating for the EFF. Some people try to push the narrative that JJ Tabane is just, an undercover activist of the EFF. You get what I'm saying? So every time he attacks the ANC, they don't want to take him seriously because they are saying, no, he's just trying to promote the EFF. But even if that's the case, even if he was busy trying to promote the EFF, but do you hear what he's saying? Sometimes people, and this is something that always confuses me, to say, people like to ignore the truth and just focus on the messenger. You get what I'm saying? So why are we not talking about what he's saying? Why are we talking about his EFF this, he hates the ANC this? But do you hear what he's saying? Is he wrong? Is he wrong? Let us focus on that, because personally, I think what he's saying is our reality as South Africans every day. The state of our nation is traumatizing. That's not a secret. That's not a secret. Unemployment rate. We just say focus on us, the youth. But it's not only the youth. Yes, we would like the youth to be employed. That's the goal. But it's more than that. It's the youth plus. And sometimes the plus is forgotten. But if you can look at our country, our townships, you will see that plus, I'm telling you. You will see that plus. And you will really understand our realities. Look at what drugs are doing to our townships. We are dying every day because of drugs. Look at crime. Every day we are dying. When we speak here about foreigners that we can't feel safe in our homes, it's as if we hate people. But it's our reality as South Africans every day. Some people will say, no, but even South Africans commit the crimes. Yes, South Africans commit the crimes. But 6 times or 7 times out of 10, it's someone coming from the outside who's come here to hustle with us in South Africa. Hustle us. I don't know how to put that one in the right English, but the right English doesn't matter. Hustle us, hustle with us. No, with us, no. Hustle us so that we can give him money. If we don't want to give him money, he kills us. It's our reality each and every day. Homelessness. Imagine, you see now it's winter. It's very, very cold. There are kids out there. Kids. I'm talking about kids. Underage kids, minors, who are under bridges. Who are living in bushes. It's our reality. It's South Africa. Cost of living. We can't afford to feed ourselves and our families. When you bought groceries for 5,000 rands, it's like you've bought nothing. You get what I'm saying? Imagine, it's our country, 5,000 rands. Electricity. Look at, electricity, that one is traumatizing. It's really traumatizing, and it's sad because electricity is a need. Maybe it wasn't a need back then. It was not considered a need. But in our current times, even going forward, in the future, and if we want to be part of that future as South Africans, we must realize that electricity is a need. And this is something that a lot of people don't talk about. We always say we want to improve, to develop as a country, but we haven't really considered electricity as a basic need. Nothing happens without electricity in 2025. If you have a business, nothing happens. When you have a business, when they tell you that there's no electricity or there was a failure, a transformer exploded and things like that, that we always hear. When you have a business, it's like an attack to your soul because you understand that I'm going to lose money. And most likely this business, if this thing continues, it's going to die. Yet they're saying, we want people to open more businesses. But they are taking the electricity. So we must understand that electricity is a basic need. It's a need. We need it. Some people will say, but you can live without electricity, so it's not a need. People, let us not be trapped in boxes just because they taught you in primary that a need and a want. A need is something that you can't live without. A want is something that you can live without. So solo uphethe leyo nto in your head. Even when we try to explain to you that electricity is a need, maybe you haven't realized it now, but you will in the future. If God keeps you alive, 50 years from now, you will see. And if we don't integrate electricity as a basic need, we will never progress as a nation. We will never develop. We need electricity to develop. That's the reality of our country. Nothing is working. Our government systems are failing us. What is working here in South Africa? Corruption. Corruption is the only thing that is working. Yeah, corruption is the only thing that is working here in South Africa. Apart from that, nothing else is working. It's chaos. And then the people who've been in power all this time will be out here acting as if they don't see that thing. Acting as if we continue trusting them, something is going to change. Please tell me on the comment section down below, what do you think about this situation? That's just what I had in this episode of The Spotlight. So if you enjoyed this video or you learned something new, please leave a like and subscribe to this channel. I would really, really appreciate it. My name is Emmanuel and this is Mzansi Versity, the place where we transform lives through knowledge and information. Let's meet again on another video.